you are a war veteran. You've served in the military. Is that correct? Because I'd be interested to know how that experience shaped your current worldview.
Yes, I am. In the bigger scheme of things, and the kind of tragedies that can unfold in participating in any armed conflict, I probably was lucky enough to, certainly went through some, what would you call live action in my case, but it wasn't as dreadful as it could have been in some ways, I guess. Usually when you watch war movies, you tend to see the sort of the extreme of that.
Mm-hmm.
But certainly it was in situations where we were fighting for our lives and shooting and people were dying and all that sort of, fairly heavy handed side of armed conflict. And at the time, what I didn't realize is that has catapulted me into what I would call a drive to understand why are we doing this, right? So I went through it thinking that I was serving a particular cause because that's the way that I grew up with. I grew up to think that, like if we get attacked, we got to respond, we got attacked, so we are responding and we're doing the right thing here. And I'm not saying that there's never a situation in which that might not arise as the only option for you to survive. And if you want to survive, you might have to do that. But beyond that, the construct of using conflict in which two sides are trying to kill each other as a way to resolve difference occurred to me as impossible. In other words, it got me to a point where I thought, really? Like, is this... Yeah, I have all the evidence of history that this is the way that we've done things for, 250,000 years probably. But could we not do it better than that, right? Are we not at a level where we can sort of move forward? And I didn't have at that age, I was young, I was 20 years old. I didn't have at that age the emotional depths or the intellectual capacity to decipher the language I needed in order to understand that conversation. Interestingly enough, about 20 or 30 years later, I came across a particular quote, which I haven't been able to find the origin, but I suspect it comes from the Eastern tradition, that says, I refuse to participate in the inner machinations of murder, right? I take a stand in which this is not what I'm going to do with my problems. And it goes back to what I was trying to say before, that at the end of the day, you have no control over circumstances. And the illusion that we have control over circumstances can only come out of the fact that we live in a fairly happy, organized, well-structured society.